Hi, I'm Professor Chang from Calvin International Student Mission. Do you want to change your life? Today, I want to introduce the surest way you can do that. Luke chapter 2, verse 1 through 20 tells a story of the birth of Jesus. Let me share the first 5 verses with you. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria, and everyone went to his own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. And Mary gave birth to Jesus there in Bethlehem. The coming of Jesus is a historical event. Luke, the author of the Gospel of Luke, was a physician, a natural scientist by profession who valued facts. Perhaps that's why he specifically clarified the historical timeline. Jesus was born when Caesar Augustus issued a census decree and when Quirinius was governor of Syria. If Jesus' coming was a historical event, what meaning would it have for your life? It was a revolutionary event with God directly entering the human history, and the history was divided into BC and AD, before Christ and Anno Domini, referring to the years after the Lord's coming. So when Jesus enters your life will inevitably be divided into before and after. Some Christians may say, I don't know how Jesus has changed my life. This may be because they attended a church from a young age and have been so accustomed to the religious life that it has become second nature. Or it may be because they haven't yet truly met Jesus. In any case, the message here is clear. Jesus undoubtedly came into human history. And just as he completely changed its course into BC and AD, so too will he change the course of your life when he comes into yours. We are ordinary people, but when Jesus enters our lives will never end in mediocrity. We dream of new things with the Lord and take on new missions. There are many such stories in the church history. Before his conversion, John Newton was a slave trader who bought the slaves from Africa and sold them in European markets. However, when he met Jesus, he was completely transformed, became an Anglican minister, and led the abolitionist movement to stop slavery. His lyrics, Amazing Grace, became one of the most inspiring hymns of the coming generations. George Mueller, German pastor, famous as the father of orphans, one of them too. Born into poverty, he was imprisoned for theft at the age of 16. After entering college, he indulged in a dissolute life of alcohol, women, and gambling. Then at age 20, he met Jesus. Since then, he was completely transformed. He became a man of God, a man of prayer. The stories of how he founded orphanages and fed orphans through prayer have been well known. One morning there was nothing to eat at the orphanage. A torrential downpour was pouring outside. Yet Pastor Miller gathered all hundreds of children round the table and prayed for the breakfast. As soon as he finished, there was a knock on the door. When he opened it, there was a wagon full of freshly baked bread and fresh milk. The workers at a nearby factory had planned a picnic, but it was canceled due to the rain. So they brought this food to the orphanage. Jesus not only changes your life, but also protects you from the evil changes of the world. I was born in a remote village in Gyeongsangbuk-do. There were only 2 families who went to church. It was in 1970s, and coal was found in the hill behind the village, and a coal mine was developed, and along with it, bars were too. After decades, the village was devastated with alcoholism, cheating, and divorce. Children were not educated properly. In the beginning, people were excited with the expectation of making lots of money, but in reality, they couldn't keep themselves from the evil that money brought. However, the 2 families were safe. Somehow they moved out of the village and sent their children to school. One of the 2 families is mine. I'm really thankful that the Lord protected us from the evil that struck the village. Do you want to change your life? Your education will help you, including your studying here in Korea, but not for sure. The surest way is that Jesus comes into your life. I wish you all meet the Lord and welcome Him into your life and experience all His goodness. After all, He is the Son of God, and you will never lose anything but give thanks to Him forever, because you will experience how good He is to you and how great His power is for you. Your life will be full of meanings and hope with Jesus. We want to invite you to our worship, 11 a.m. every Sunday at A302 Undergrad Building in Calvin University. Everyone is welcome.